This episode of the Willfull Thinking Podcast is brought to you by Sierra Hills Roofing. If it's time for a new roof in the greater Sacramento area, contact Sierra Hills Roofing at 916-975-5095 or by email at sierrahillsroof@gmail.com. Ladies and gentlemen, Willfull Thinking fans, I am so excited to announce today's guest of the Willfull Thinking Podcast. Owner of the Rustic Mule, Michelle Keifer. Michelle talks about her experience transitioning out of corporate employment and into entrepreneurship. We chat about business ownership, opening a brick and mortar storefront, and the ever popular trends of all things charcuterie. And boy, does she have some great insights. Great. Grate. Get it? A joke about cutting cheese in the intro. Just when you think it can't be done, he did it. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy this episode of the Willfull Thinking Podcast with Michelle Keifer. Well, hey, welcome to the Willfull Thinking Podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've got Willfull Thinking fans, WTFs, like 7 of them. So make sure, if you have not already, like and subscribe. We really appreciate all the support. We are joined today by owner and founder of the Rustic Mule.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
Miss Michelle.
Yes.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really good.
Hey, thanks for
Cheesier
doing
than
this.
ever.
Oh my gosh, here we go. Oh, I
This
wasn't
guy
ready for
and I
it.
go way back.
We do
so,
go way back.
We do.
God, I can't wait to talk to you about this. So, we've been friends for a minute now, right? You've done some birthday parties for us.
Yes.
We've done a couple other like big functions, like work related, some family stuff. But now you've stepped out into the business world and you've got a brick and mortar.
Yes.
Good old fashioned brick and mortar. Tell us about the Rustic Mule.
Okay.
How did you start? Kind of where did you figure out the concept of this is what I want to do? Because you haven't always been brick and mortar.
No.
And then how has it evolved over time?
Yeah. I mean, look at these loaded questions.
Yeah,
I love
know.
it. I love
Yeah.
it.
We've got an hour, so
okay.
yeah.
I'm not going to go that long, I swear. Okay, so a little bitty while ago, you know me as the horse trailer bar.
Yes.
So it's a super trendy thing. Everyone's doing it. We're all serving drinks out of a horse trailer because that's like the most ethical, legal way to do it for all these events and gatherings. So before that, though, I was in corporate America for about 15 years.
AT&T, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So big Fortune 5 company.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
No, it's fine. It's
Okay.
fine. I don't have a non-disclosure agreement.
Right on. If so, it's expired. Yeah.
I don't know. They'll always find me. So worked there for 15 years,
Okay.
worked my way up the ladder, held many titles.
Yeah.
It's always a true testament to know that if you're seeking outside the job for something else, you're clearly not satisfied in the job.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that because it's so true in all elements
It's
of
so
life.
true. If your resume is up to date, something has gone horribly wrong.
Oh my, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I'm not one that's not loyal. So I love loyalty. I love consistency and stability. And 15 years of my life going up and down, different roles, different titles, traveling the world, all these benefits. It's amazing. But you're like, why am I constantly not fulfilled here? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So during the summer, I would start working for a caterer, and they would always pull me into the bartending role because A, I was 21 and over,
Yeah.
and B, they're like, okay, this girl like knows how to run a crowd. She knows how to talk to everybody. She's organized. Let's put her on the bar.
Yeah.
So after I did this all summer, now keep in mind, I was already making 6 figures. I didn't
Yeah.
need money. I didn't
Just
need
a little
money.
hobby. Just a little side hustle.
I just wanted something for me.
Yeah.
And this was my social hour outside of telecommunications, because how boring is that? So at the end of the day, I was, thinking to myself, this is a great gig. I'm making extra money. But I hate showing up being unprepared. So because I had nothing, I had no place to put my ice. I had nowhere to put my booze. I had no place to put my tools. So I started Googling, good old Google, and I'm like, like a bar cart. And then all these horse trailers popped up, and I was like, well, this is kind of interesting. Never ridden a horse. Don't like horses.
Yeah.
Don't know how to tow a trailer. Let's do it. So I bought a trailer from some weirdo farm guy. And,
Here locally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then brought it to my house, worked on it for 2 months in my driveway with my folks.
Yeah.
They thought I was crazy. My neighbors were like, what's this chick doing over here? And then at the end of the day, 400 events later in 3 years,
Oh my gosh.
slaying drinks, turned it into mocktails, cocktails, coffee, lots of nonprofit, lots of community outreach. I mean, we were the family that would show up at your school dressed as the Grinch and do a whole Whoville extravaganza with free cocoa for the kids. And we did this for 4 years straight.
Yeah.
So people got to know us, lots of community. We were at the high school proms. We were doing homecoming. We were doing the baseball games.
No way.
Oh, yeah. It was amazing. Like, I'm telling you, in a short period of time, I look back and I'm like, oh, my gosh, I totally forgot I had a corporate job because after the first year, I had to quit. I had to quit my corporate job.
Yeah.
And was it a nudge to get me out? Probably.
Yeah.
Was it a bad decision? I don't know. Most people are like, you gave up stability to be this chaotic person. So anyways, I don't know if you need to check.
No, okay. it goes. Yeah, it does that.
Woo! The laser's like telling me like the Oscars, like stop talking. So anyways, super cool. I was just like at my capacity though. I was burning the midnight oil. I felt like I was camping every day.
Was most of this Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Or was it starting to like get into the week a little bit?
Totally.
Yeah.
So good point, because you would think this is a side gig, side hustle. I can do this on the weekend.
Yeah.
Well, not me, because I'm like doing corporate events, community events. I'm going to schools on a Tuesday. I am showing up at these businesses doing their middle of the week conferences or their marketing meetings, etc. So it turned into a full-time job, and that's why I couldn't do both. Sure. Because you just keep calling in sick, and you're like, okay, I'm not sick. I'm just literally slaying drinks all day, and this is like so weird. But anyways, insert all that, all my background in business, marketing, sales, I was able to get clients. That's not a problem I had.
Yeah.
The problem I had was time, and I was one person.
Yeah, sure.
So I decided to just really like kind of blow it up a little bit more. Started like bringing in some folks to help me bartend, but it just wasn't the same. They didn't have my vibe or my passion, and my parents were always down for anything. So it was just the three of us. Keep in mind, the three of us.
I remember from the onset, right?
Yeah. And we would decorate the trailer. It'd be cute. Like, anyway, so it got to a point where, okay, now I'm getting tired of this, and it's not tired of it because I don't want to do it anymore. I'm just tired of the process. It was so emotional. Alcohol is so emotional for people.
I haven't had a drink in going on 3 months now.
That's huge.
I know, right? Yeah.
See?
So I'm like way less emotional than normal, you know?
Okay, well, I don't mean it that way. I'm just saying like, God. He's like, listen, I stopped being this way.
Exactly.
No, I find it emotional with the decision-making process.
Where's my drink? That's right here.
Okay.
I got it.
Is
coffee.
That, okay.
No, it's just coffee.
You're like, I haven't drank in 3 months.
I am.
Gulp, gulp, gulp,
I know, right? I'm still looking for a coffee sponsor. Folgers, I know you hear me, and I do love your stuff. The best part of waking up.
It's Folgers and Will's
I'm
cup.
not a Pete's Coffee guy. Full disclosure.
No.
It's just
no.
Anyway.
And I just make my own coffee at home.
Me too.
Because I'm just like, I can't. Yeah. So sponsorships on the way. But anyways, it got to the point where the emotional decision making. So when you're getting hired for a wedding, by the way, you are the last that they think of. They're like, this bar?
I know you got some good wedding stories.
Oh yeah, but this bar, like, we're gonna really pay $3,000 to have alcohol, like, blah blah blah, and they get so upset with you, and so they like kind of put you second fiddle.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, you show up at the wedding, and you're the main event.
Oh, for sure.
And you're like,
everybody's visiting you.
I'm trying to tell people.
Times, yeah.
So not only are we bartenders, not only are we doing all the planning, the mixers, and all the execution of staging it to make it look beautiful, putting in the flowers, etc. Now you are a full-on entertainer for 7 hours. Yeah. So it got to the point where you're just mentally drained. You're physically exhausted.
Sure.
And you're tired of booze. And so, I mean, you're 3 months not drinking.
Almost.
I'm almost 2 years.
Are you really?
Yes.
Love
I know
that.
And it's not because I'm like, ooh, I want to, do better. It's more like, I'm just done. I'm just done with it. I'm done with what it stands for.
Yep.
I'm done with how it makes people feel. And I'm done with seeing how it turns people. Because I would see people from zero to hero starting the event. I'm not drinking. I'm not having sugar today, as they guzzle a full bottle of wine. And I'm just like, I'm tired of being the babysitter. That's why I left corporate America. I was babysitting adults.
Yep.
So anyways, the bar kind of got like burned out. So then me and my way, I'm like, well, I'm already committed.
Yeah.
I've quit my big 6-figure job.
Yep.
I have this horse trailer, little overhead, by the way. Like, this didn't cost
Very
me
little.
nothing. Oh,
yeah, for sure.
I paid cash for the
And you're
horse
obviously
trailer.
very handy. I mean, I've seen what you've done with your office and everything else. So all of this you were doing yourself.
Yes, all DIY.
Yeah.
Everything was upfront cost. So then when you like work into the equation of like people hiring you, they bought the booze.
Yeah.
I just brought the ice, the
well,
mixers,
they have to
the
for
cup.
licensing and everything, right? Yeah.
Liabilities.
Yeah,
Insurance was heavy and expensive for me, but
even not buying alcohol is still just
because you're serving it.
It's just a racket, huh?
Yeah. And if the ABC shows up and they're like, how many drinks did you give this guy? Are you carding people? It was just a nightmare. So it didn't matter. You could not be people's friends.
Yeah.
And everyone wants you to be their friends when you have a bar.
Yep.
So take shots with us. No, I had to
Yeah.
start a no shot policy because people were so pushy. I'm like,
Yeah.
no more. So anyways, after all this, I was like, you know what? Your passion really isn't alcohol, Michelle.
Yeah.
Your passion is food. You actually, before you did 15 years at AT&T, you worked in a restaurant for 7.
Where?
Hacienda del Roble, back in the day off of Pacific Street in Rockland.
Okay.
They had 2 locations. I grew up with this family. They were amazing. I learned everything from bussing tables to hostess to serving.
Probably to a little Spanish as well.
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
The other day when we're prepping in the kitchen, I go to my mom, I need the lechuga. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, lechuga? And she's like, la 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 la. I'm like, lettuce, mom, lettuce.
Lechuga.
I say crap all day long.
That one's
people.
going directly into the lexicon.
Oh my God, the Michelle-isms are just crazy.
Lechuga.
So yeah, lechuga. And then I'm always telling my kid, you got your chaqueta? And my kid just knows. Yes, I will speak in both languages.
Yeah.
But I learned all the bad stuff, by the way.
That's how it always works. That's how it
I'm
always
toning
works.
this down for this, but I learned all the bad stuff. So when I went back to college, because yes, I do the things hard here. Okay. When I went back to college as an adult, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to fulfill a Spanish requirement. I'm going to go back into Spanish, but I got this in the bag. 7 years in the Mexican restaurant. I'm amazing. I get there and she's like, okay, we're starting on chapter 6. I'm like, BJ, I'm like saying all these bad words, right? And she's like, Michelle,
Michelle.
no talking like that. I'm like, what? What's the problem? And like, it was hilarious semester because I thought I was better than everybody else. And I just knew slang Spanish. I did not know textbook Spanish.
Yeah.
So anyways, best times of my life.
I know roofing Spanish. So yeah.
Yeah. Pinche. Yeah. So I don't even know where I was going with this, but I know what it was. I remembered the best times of my life were working in that Mexican restaurant. The best times. It wasn't working at AT&T. Sorry, people. It wasn't serving drinks. Sorry, people.
Yeah.
It was literally working in that Mexican restaurant because I was everybody. I learned how to cook. I learned how to expedite food. I learned how to do the bookkeeping. I was doing the food ordering. I was managing teams. I was hiring, firing people. I was my own sitcom. Like, it was the most thrilling event of my life for 7 years. And I just hated it because when they kept changing owners, they changed philosophy.
Yeah.
And I was the OG.
And the cultures.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm the OG. Like, I know what I'm doing here. And I got kind of forced to leave. And that just burned me because I was like, I did so much here. I did ladies' night. I did kids eat free night.
Yeah.
I did all these fun things and just got totally taken advantage of. So anyways, I had this epiphany one day and I was like, why don't you start offering food? Like, you love to cook. You're the appetizer queen. Okay. So I just started rolling off to people. I'll do your bar, but you guys want like a cheese table? You guys want like chips and salsa bar? And they're like, yeah. So I just started adding it on.
For sure.
To their services. And then I was like, wait a second here. I can go get a full-on health permit. I could be a caterer. Yeah, this horse trailer could be the vegetable to it, but I don't need a place. So I just started doing a lot of vendor events. And that's when I was like, I'm at the baseball field. I'm doing football games.
Yeah.
I'm doing water polo meets. And I'm serving my signature breakfast burritos. I'm doing sandwiches and soups and salads and wraps and everything imaginable under the sun. And it took off. So then what happens? All your bookings now are coming in like, hey, you did taco bar at my daughter's wedding with her, bar. Can you do it at mine? I just completely created the busiest nightmare of my life because now not only am I serving drinks out of a horse trailer.
Yeah, now you're doing food on top of it.
I'm doing food.
Yeah.
And now I'm bringing hot boxes in and I'm bringing all the cold refrigeration in and my ice just now tripled. So it was just a lot on my family. It was a lot on all of us. We did great. I mean, the little gringo over here had the best tacos in town and like we just kept going. So after about 1.5 years of complete chaos, I just had this epiphany moment. I'm like, I don't think I want to do anymore. I don't want to do the horse trailer. I don't want to do food. I'm done. So I started putting my applications out because I was like,
really?
Oh yeah. I was like, I'm done. I am so done with this game.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, this is crazy. Like, I am so done with this game. I don't want to be everybody's center of attention. I'm doing everything for you. I'm running the show. I'm not only serving you drinks and feeding you. Like, now I'm cleaning up your event.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck is this? So I started putting out my applications. Do you know that I got denied more in my life and rejected than high school? I swear to God, it was like, sorry, you're overqualified. Sorry, we don't want to.
Overqualified.
Yeah, we don't want to pay you. Really? That's your experience? Like, whoa. Like, let's peel back the onion a little bit. 15 years corporate America.
Yeah.
I'm still a licensed real estate agent. I just don't practice. I worked for Wells Fargo Bank for years.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I'm an old soul. I'm 44 years old, but I have lived 4 lives. Like, it's crazy. And I was overqualified. And I'm like,
when we'll interview, we've been through several rounds of hiring.
yeah.
The first time we ever decided we were going to hire someone, it was for a sales position. And I think we got it down to like, all right, here's our final 5 that we actually want to bring in to interview.
Yeah.
Do you know how many actually showed up?
1?
1.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like overqualified. It's like box number 1 to check to me is like, will you show up when you say you're going to show up?
I know.
Because apparently that's a thing now.
Yeah, you can't get people to work. Thank
Yeah.
you, COVID. You can't get people to think outside the box. Thank you, COVID.
Yeah.
And you can't get people who know how to talk to people.
Yeah. Thank
So-
you, Facebook.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so the people that were denying me were 20 years younger than me.
Oh my gosh.
And so I'm like, you're a chief executive officer of what?
Yeah.
Of your role or not the company? So I actually was so burned out between all the events I was doing, all the rejection I was getting.
Yeah.
And I was like, forget it. I'm broke. What am I going to do? Now, I live my life like I'm broke every day. It's just my love language to myself. Like
Yeah.
I never want to ever overconsume and I never want to live above my means. So
Yeah.
if I feel like I'm getting kind of nervous, I will, oh my God, I got to sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace or I got to like
Really?
offload. Oh, I'm a weirdo. So I sold clothes out of my home in an online boutique for 4 years too.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I made it huge. Like I was all the way up the ladder. I was like talking at conferences. I know, that's crazy. Crazy life. I sold $250,000 worth of clothes out of my home.
You're a tube of toothpaste
I
away
know.
from Amway. Yeah.
Oh, I told you, all these
Oh
things
my
are all
gosh.
running parallel. I knew I was capable. I was just always afraid I would never have money. I was always afraid I was,
That's
you
actually,
know?
I think that's a good place to live, honestly. Like the stress that comes along with it can
Yeah.
be a little overwhelming, but imagine being the opposite. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, it doesn't matter. I'll figure it out tomorrow.
Yes.
It's like, I don't know, man. Like,
I mean,
you're digging a pretty deep hole here. And like, I'd much rather have that drive to be like, I will never know what it's like to be hungry.
I know.
Because-
it scares me. Homelessness scares me.
You know?
It's like
Yeah.
weird. I am this old school mentality that you work hard, you will succeed.
Yeah.
And I knew that the outside forces weren't going to work for me. Corporate America was great, but it wasn't. There was always dangling that carrot, so I just never felt stability.
You preach,
I
sister,
know.
preach.
I never felt like I could show up the next day and feel safe.
Yeah.
And so that kind of motivated me every day. So yeah, in parallel to my corporate America job, selling clothes out of my garage and then running a horse trailer bar company with food and beverage, I was like, okay, what are you doing with your life? Time to grow up. You can't be running ragged all over the
Yeah.
place. Who are you trying to prove this to? Like, what award do you want?
Who were you trying to prove it to?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I still look back and I'm like, what? You weirdo? No one would do this. No one would do this.
So what was the aha moment to say, this is the direction I'm taking this vision?
Okay.
You
So, not saying I'm perfect in everything I do. So, I
Oh, come
purchased an
on.
additional property because I
Okay.
thought, I'm going to buy a property now. I'm going to bring this all in house. People are going to come to me, build it, and they will come.
Uh-huh.
You know, field of dreams here.
Yeah.
And it just went sideways after I bought it. Like, it went sideways. The town wasn't like, yay, you're here. They were like, get the hell out. I was being
No
bullied. And I
way.
was like, this is all over an investment of a property that I was trying to turn into like an event venue space that I
And make
thought,
the town better.
oh, I know. Like, it was literally going to be my horse trailer was going to sit on the property. I would have little events. I could put out a little food table. Life
Yeah.
was going to be good. My folks and I, we renovated this place. I dumped hundreds of
Yeah.
thousands of dollars into this. And then I literally was like, this isn't working. Like, what? You're not solving your problem. You're creating more of a problem. And so I was like, well, I need to figure this out. So I sold the property and then I said, it's time for me just to give myself a little nest egg, go refinance your house, put like 50 grand in the bank.
Mhm.
So you have something because, there's all this equity in my house
Mhm.
now. But they wouldn't let me refi unless a tax person said, we validate she's self-employed. Yes, she pays her taxes or whatever. They needed this like written thing. And I called like 6 different tax, like CPAs, accountants, and they would not vouch for me. And I'm like, dude, I'm not doing anything illegal.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've been using TurboTax, you know, like, what's the big deal? So I found this company in Lincoln, and they took my call. And they're like, we'll do it. What do you need? And I was like, just to say I'm a person that is filing my taxes, and I'm not trying to like pull a fast one over anybody, and I'm self-employed. They're like, yeah, no big deal. Just we'll email you the printout. Well, because I'm a generous person, and that's why I find myself super successful, I dropped them off a cheese platter. And I was like, you know what? You guys, thank you, because I'm literally at rock bottom. I just don't know where I want to go with my life. I don't know if I want to grow up. I'm about ready to sell my house and leave. Like, I don't know. I'm running away. I'm a runner, you know, like what? And then I walked out of the building all happy, and I looked over and I was like, for lease right next door. I was like, what the hell? For lease?
Yeah.
Maybe I do this. Screw the whole dream of having your property and your business on your own land. Like, maybe I just go do it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I toured all these different places, because you never just pick the first one. And I ended up back where I started.
Mm-hmm.
And I called that broker. We negotiated. And as of last week, I signed my lease a year ago and got my keys. And I've been in there a year. And here I am slaying cheese out of this little brick and mortar. 721 square feet of love. Let's just say that.
Right on. I've been to that shop at least 10 times, I would guess.
Yeah.
I love bringing my son because you have a playing cards, or not playing cards, but like trading cards shop like right next door.
Oh, the Epic
and
Games,
we're really into that now as a family. So, well, it's me and him. But
It's okay.
it's super fun. I love it.
we get those too. I have to say, if anybody's looking for whatever dream or path they want to follow or land somewhere, location.
Yeah.
So I failed on the property, the investment property, because of location. I didn't pick the right location. That town was not willing to have me a part of their town.
Yeah.
Location wise, with my horse trailer, I was always all over the place going to people's homes. So I never really had a place to like
the
pop
location
up.
part was taking care of itself.
But like I didn't have a stable place where people could come every day. And I started looking to see if I could lease space by like Lowe's or the grocery store. Like, can I just have this block on a Saturday or Sunday and just slay my breakfast burritos and do my mocktails? And no one would let me rent the space. Huh. So after all these denials everywhere, I think, you know, rejection's hilarious. You just start saying, you know, I'll do things my own way.
Yeah.
And when I got this place in Lincoln a year ago, I didn't even know what I was in for, to be honest. I was like, this is easy. I'm just going to turn this into a little prep kitchen and build it out, and I'll be, you know, this is easy. It was harder than I thought.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rules. And I remember delivering boards to your guys' house.
Yeah.
And just like unleashing on your wife. Like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. Like, oh my goodness, I have to spend $2,300 to move the sprinkler line 4 inches. Like, this is so much work.
Yeah.
And the cost was so expensive.
Yeah.
But I want to say, fast forward, I simplified my life.
Yeah.
I picked one lane. I might have chosen a trendy food item. But what's cool about me is I don't stop with the trends. Like, I'm not like, oh, I do cheese boards. Because you'll see as I talk a little bit more, it's not just a cheese board company.
No,
you know?
We're going to show them.
Okay. Take it out of the packaging.
Way more than just a cheese board company.
Yeah. So
look at all this.
Yeah, it's delish. So lots of like love to get to this point with regards to charcuterie. I did put myself through some schooling because at the end of the day, like, yes, I have a business degree. I'm a marketing master. I have all these certifications to be a food handler and to be certified and to run a kitchen.
And that ain't nothing.
No. I have my catering permit. I have health, like, code, like, what's it called, where they approve you, health code authority or whatever. All these things to open this shop. I did the remodel in 4 months. I hired
I can see the comments now. Like, look at this idiot still trying to open up this.
I could have done it for you. I literally found myself building my dream like I was a little kid that used to build Legos or popsicle stick little subdivisions. I just always had, you know, this thing where I just ran through the dandelion fields in life and everything was just going to work itself out. And it was effortless. People are like, how did you do all this? And I'm like, I don't know. I just did it.
Yeah.
I just did it. I designed it. I put together my own designs.
Look at this.
I know. Very good.
You do so much fun stuff on here. I love the cheeses that have some personality.
Yeah.
You know?
There are high-end cheeses.
Yeah.
So you don't want to scare people with charcuterie because at the end of the day, they like comfort and familiarity. So you got to put some staples on there like people recognize, and then you got to wow them with things that they've never seen before.
You get some serious produce on these things.
Yeah.
Like, look at that grape. That ain't your mommy's grape.
They're
right
bountiful
there.
grapes, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I always try to put like obviously the best like
I love
assortment
blue cheese
of
olives. Thank you.
yeah, I know you did. Chocolates and nuts and stuff, but I'd really try to source my cheeses from obviously well-known companies,
Yeah.
but companies that are also like under-recognized. You know, like
And you try and shop local, right?
Yeah. I really do. I try to like really utilize folks that are doing honey and that are doing jams and that
Yeah.
are like really trying to make their own breads and different things, because the whole point of this was I started in the community outreach. I'm not going to end without community outreach.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to like blow up other businesses or make them feel good about it, because
Yeah.
is what gave me a start. I mean, I
Yeah.
know we went off on this long tangent, but at the end of the day, I still haven't reached a point where I'm like, good job, Michelle. I'm still like,
Do you think you will?
I don't know, because
Yeah.
what defines it? This is so weird, because as a business
When you
owner,
started, did you set out with like a list of goals?
okay, I'm horrible. I didn't have a business
I
plan.
did. I had to do that. Like for me, it took us a long time to hit go.
Yeah.
I was pretty comfy in my corporate America job
Yeah.
for a while,
Yeah.
and then it was like, if you're going to do this, I needed a map. I
Yeah.
needed like a road map of this is A,
Timeline
B,
and-
C,
yeah.
and D. And I'm glad I did, but I recognize that not everybody's as much of a lunatic as I am.
No,
So-
I actually like commend you for that, because maybe I would have had it all figured out. So cart before the horse is like my logo, like in my mind. I mean, my business is Rustic Mule because I'm a workhorse. I'm a mule. I'm like the one picked over that no one cares about, but the one that shows up,
Yeah.
right?
I thought it was because you're the opposite of a classic ass. Oh
Well,
boy.
well.
Yeah.
On that note,
Did you like that?
yeah.
I came up with
actually,
that on the drive here. I was like, I wonder.
He thought this
I
through.
did. I was like, opposite of rustic, classic. Opposite of mule, ass.
She's one classic
Yeah.
piece of ass over here. Oh boy. Hey, to even try to get people to pronounce charcuterie is the best. Charcuterie,
Yeah, huh?
it's like the best in the world.
Not a lot of French speakers here in Northern California.
No.
No.
And so, I mean, back to the crazy board, it scares people. And people will order from online charcuterie places, or they'll order from like, what's that guy? Thomas, and I don't know, some really like high-end like store. And they get this stuff and they're like afraid to eat it. They're
Yeah.
just so terrified. And so I'm trying to do a relatable product. I'm trying
Yeah.
to give people that comfort of home, beautiful boards, a good, complimentary flavor, taste palette, but something that either sparks conversation or forces people to be like, did you try that purple cheese? That thing's freaking killer. What do you
Yeah.
think it is? And it's conversation. So when that board, that platter, that box leaves our store, I know it's being talked about.
Oh, yeah.
And that's super fun for me.
It's a huge hit for our customers. For those who don't know, it's because you haven't bought a roof from us yet. But if you do, this is our little thank you gift to
Yeah.
all of our customers. And we get so many texts, call, like even emails, just like, this was the coolest gift.
That's so
And
awesome.
yeah, we get it almost every time. And it's amazing to me, like, a lot of people don't say thank you as much as maybe they used to, or maybe it's just I'm numb to it, but it's one of the things that I'm really trying to ingrain in our kids.
Yeah.
And it's like, it is part of the sentence. It's like, may I have this, please? And then thank you for giving it. Like it is, you don't do one without the other. You don't get something without saying please, and you don't accept it without saying thank you.
Yeah.
So it's literally every transaction is a please and thank you. Harvey's playing baseball. Did you tell coach thank you after practice? It's like, no,
Yeah.
but not without the reminder. So I think it's just society in general is just maybe not as grateful as they used to be or whatever. It is amazing how many people have reached out to us to say thank you
Wow.
for this
Yeah,
gift. Not
yeah.
thank you for the roof, but
I know.
thank you for this nice
Hey,
gift.
thanks for keeping us
Yeah.
dry. So this charcuterie board
Yeah.
that you gave us, yeah. And you're right. No one knows how to say thank you anymore because
Yeah.
people are afraid of that next part of the conversation. Like, shouldn't we just be done, shake hands, we did the work? And then it's like they now open up Pandora's box by saying thank you. I find it interesting because I overly communicate, please, thank you. And so I used to always talk in the, I'm sorry. It's like, okay, just own yourself.
Yeah.
And I feel like people are just, I don't know, afraid of what's going to come after next. Like if you say thank you, does that mean they're going to keep talking to you? Like it's just so weird. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
But gratitude is something that I've learned I have to find within myself because we don't get a lot of it either. Now we do, but
I really am working hard on it. That's like a New Year's resolution of mine. It's something that I'm just trying to do more actively, but also be more aware of, like, hey, what are you grateful for?
Yeah.
Because it's a lot more than I realized, And
also too, it's just acknowledging people.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so today, keep in mind, right? We're busy people. We're running around all of it. Who knows how my day was, your day was. When I walked in and you're like, hey, hi, how are you? I'm great. Like, no one ever asked me how I'm doing. I'm always asking people, hey, why are you in? What brought you in? How are you doing? No one ever asked if I'm okay, right? And so it's so interesting because another lesson I learned from my grandpa was if someone compliments you, just say thank you. You don't have to compliment them back.
Yeah.
You don't have to get weird. Just say thanks and let it go.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just want to genuinely say, you look really nice today. Or, thank you for being nice. And so I know it's just.
I wore my flamingo shirt for you.
I don't know. Classy ass and flamingo in Crocs. Let's talk about the Crocs.
Rustic shoes. Okay.
Oh my God. Well,
my sartorial resplendors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought podcasting mean we weren't going to be on
this is great radio, but the people watching on YouTube are really enjoying themselves.
They're like, this chick, this guy. So it's a very humbling experience because when you're in that business mentality, people mentality, you got to be willing and ready to handle anything that either walks in your door, calls your phone, or comes over. So on top of the charcuterie boards and stuff that we do and the place that I've created in a short period of time, which by the way, so I did the remodel within 4 months. I designed the place myself. I gave my designs to the architect I had to hire and they used mine.
Dang.
Yeah. They used mine and I paid $30,000 to have them sign it. But what's so cool about it is every day that I'm there, I'm like,
you did this. Yeah.
I did this. And the full execution of it. But what's really interesting is it took like 4 months and then I kind of opened for myself.
Did you open like right before Thanksgiving or was it even sooner than that?
Yeah. So I actually got my signed off all the health permits, everything end of August. So I kept the place to myself all September just to kind of work out the kinks. Because you don't want to be that person. People walk in and you're just not a well-oiled machine. I didn't even know where half my crap was going, Plus I moved stuff around and just trying to understand the flow of it. Then hard launched in October.
Okay.
And we hit Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve. I mean, you talk about opening up the right time. Not only is location important, you got open up when you're going to be the most attention. And I opened up right when it was the most attention.
Around the holidays, yeah.
So my build out cost me over $100,000 and I self-funded it because I was like, you know what? I sold this property. I could reinvest it. Nope, just reinvest it in yourself. Yeah. I know this is a lease, so it's actually you're improving the landlord's building, but I wanted it my way, and it costs a lot of money to get there. But I knew at least, I signed a lease. I can get my money back at a certain point in time. Do you know that I got my money back in less than 3 months?
Whoa.
Yeah, less than 3 months.
That's so awesome.
Just killed it off the get. And I'm thinking this charcuterie thing was supposed to be cush for me. I was going to chill. Because I've been going, ragged for 4 years. I'm selling clothes and I'm slaying drinks and, I'm running a house and I'm doing all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm just going to sit back and just be a cute little cheese shop like the French do and just, taste cheese with people.
You have cut a lot of cheese. 14-hour
days I'm working. We did 275 Thanksgiving boards, over 400 Christmas boards.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. And then it just kept going. And how did I advertise? I just was me. I was just constantly every day on social media being like, hello, we're here. And I documented the entire thing, like the build out, the remodel.
Yeah. You do a great job with your social media.
Thank you. It's kind of awkward, but it's like.
I agree. That's why we hired someone.
I know. Yeah. I'm just like, I'm like not here for clout. I'm more like, I don't need to go viral. I don't need to get people from all over the world.
Oh, but we should. That would be so great for my coffee sponsorship.
Well, you know what I mean, though? Like, if I go viral, I'm screwed. I'm like literally stage 4 screwed because I can only produce so much out of that little shop.
Yeah.
And I'm only one person. I have my folks working with me and my 18-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
So I don't want to expand because back to reversing the clock here, hiring people sucks because nobody wants to work. Mm-hmm. Everybody's a liability. Everyone has an excuse. Everyone's tired. Well, guess what? I don't have time for that.
Yep.
I don't have time to babysit. So
Yep.
I just keep the shop small. I do what I can. We challenge ourselves every day.
Yeah.
So on top of all this, it's not just boards that I'm doing that make me successful. It is my offsite setups. So I landed big contracts with some big companies, and I do a lot of like house setups. I do a lot of corporation setups. So I'll do these grazing tables where they're not traditional, just cheese. I mean, I'm bringing in my signature dishes from the catering days. I'm doing my pasta salads, my sandwiches, like all my different salads that, you know, people want, but they don't know where to find them.
Yeah.
So I do that. And then every once in a while, because I did work in a Mexican restaurant, I roll out my Mexican flair, you know, like I do breakfast burritos. I did carnitas burritos one week. I always make sure I have fresh guac, all my signature salsas. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So when people come into our shop, it's not just to get a cheese board anymore. They're trying my salads. They're getting
Breakfast,
my
lunch,
sandwiches.
and dinner, baby. 3 squares.
Oh my gosh.
3 hots in a cup.
I know. This is hilarious. Like, I'm going to go home all day and be like, I am one classic ass. So anytime I'm feeling down on myself, I'm just going to remind myself.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. Because I am not bougie at all, too. I'm like, this is going to be great. So it's interesting to me, though, because food brings people together.
Yeah.
And back to that, circling back to that emotional decision, people don't emotionally decide on food. They're just deciding on hunger pains, or they're irritable because they're like, oh my gosh, it's not like, do I have to order this? No, it's like, I need this food.
Hangry is a real thing.
It is a real thing. And so I've noticed, you know, in the other industries I was in, telecommunications, bar, I don't know, just clothes. Yeah. All those are emotional kind of decisions. Yeah. You have to create and cultivate that need for people. Well, I don't have to do that here.
No.
Humans have to eat.
It's one of the first things I think about
every day. And so to give people options. So, you know, October, November, December, absolutely incredible.
Oh, Indy.
It was just, it was great. It was so amazing. And then January, I took a week off because my daughter turned 18, and I just needed to kind of catch my breath. And I was like, okay.
For sure, after all that.
Yeah, I mean, we had like 30 setups off-site in December, 400 boards on Christmas Eve. You had New Year's, and then everybody coming in between. I said, you know what? Everyone keeps asking me for my food. Like, hey, can you drop off a cheese board and then bring that pasta salad? And I was like, oh my God, I can't keep doing this. Yeah. So I launched my market fridge concept. And so in January, I decided we're going to be a market. I got more licensing. Yeah. And now every day people can get grab and go lunch under $10. Yeah. Come in and get a great sandwich or a salad, a cheese box if they want one. Yep. And they can just walk in, pick and choose. And I love it because all of our neighborhood tenants, they all come for lunch with us. Sure. Yeah. We have big groups coming and ordering big catering. Yeah. So I'm constantly pushing out more than just cheese boards, which is great because I get so nervous about being like relative, or what's the word? Relevant?
Relevant. Yeah.
I'm like,
you're more than just a cheese lady.
Yeah. Because guess what? What if in a year or two, everyone's like, oh, this cheese thing's a fad?
Well, what if everybody's constipated in a year or two? It's like
all this gas is in the universe. Cheese. Yeah. And truthfully, having all these options, I think is what helps. So we do fun things. We do sweet boards. I had a resident baker who was always baking cookies, and we did, you know, Grinch boxes for the holidays. And so it's super fun for me because I'm a creative, like, genius in the fact where I create food with art in mind. Like, I can't paint a picture at all. I can't draw anything.
Yeah.
But I can make a freaking Santa Claus brie board face, or I could design something like super crazy. And so I think people tune in for the crazy because every day I'm showing something different and a little bit more relatable. Like, not only is food should be eaten with your eyes, but it should be enjoyed. So I do really high-end quality food items for a fair price. Yep. Because half the other restaurants out there, half the other fast food places are all fillers. Yeah. So they're only filling you up temporarily. Yeah. Where, you know, I was advertising today, like my medium box, which is like $50, is 4 pounds. Like, it's massive. And there's a lot of variety, and it's actually a well-balanced meal between the fruits and the different proteins and the cheeses. I mean, you put nuts in there and olives, you just got all the food groups right there. So it is a meal. But, you know, I want to stay relevant. I want to say not as trendy because I think trendy stuff will burn out. And I just want to be a real person. So I look forward to the holidays. I look forward to constantly expanding my knowledge. Mm-hmm. I'm booking out Easter already because I created these cute little Easter boards with our bunnies and stuff. But that door swings constantly, and it makes me feel good. And so January kicked off, It was an epic month again. And I'm like, no one's going to come in here in January. Everyone's doing their diets. Everyone's, doing their like, I don't drink this month. I'm not eating bad. And we like exceeded all expectations. And then February hit, exceeded. March has been our best to date.
Awesome.
I know. And so I don't know. What's the plan here? I want to keep it the way it is. I don't want to franchise.
Do you feel like you're just on this momentum track right now? And it's like, how do I just stay on this? Right? Like, how do
I don't want to go too big and I don't want to go backwards.
But you want to keep this good energy going, right?
Yeah. And the best way to do it is just believe in yourself. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have my hard days too where I'm like, what did I sign up for? I obviously had that moment last year and I was ready to like go work again in the job industry. But this doesn't feel like a job. I feel like I'm just playing. I'm playing, and everyone that comes in loves us and we love them. And I'm getting to know people on their first name basis again.
Yeah.
And that's my social hour. But I fear that if I don't keep staying cool, like, is this going to still be something that people go to? I don't know. So
yeah, but you continue to evolve. Like every month, it seems like it's like, here's a new idea. So where do you find that inspiration of like trying something new? As I think the classic rut that businesses and business owners fall into is like, well, this is working. Let's just do this until it stops working. But you're just like, no, this is working, but what if this works too? And what if this works too? And how do you find that? Like, where do you find this inspiration?
It's that squirrel mentality I have. I'm just such an unsettled person in general. So like, I don't know. I'm like, great, I did Caesar salads last week. Well, maybe we should add onion to that. Maybe we should make a Caesar wrap. I don't know. Like, because I'm just always thinking about how I operate.
Yeah.
And that is, I'm not in the 1950s. I'm not having steak, potatoes, and green beans every night. Like, we have options, and our clients and our customers have options, and they pick us. So how do I keep them to keep picking us? Well, you keep bringing them new things. And guess what? They'll still go back to their staples, but they'll give it a try.
Yeah.
Like, they'll try something new.
Sure.
So where's this going to go for me right now? I'm going to kind of coast a little bit. I'm doing all my Easter boards. I have my market concept. I don't have any more space to remodel or expand. I don't want to hire more people. So I'm just going to kind of enjoy the ride for right now. But I'll always be inspired because I wake up with these crazy ideas and I'm like, I kind of have leftover ham. What do I make out of that? That's kind of how it goes.
Okay.
Where I'm like, I over-ordered something, so I got to create something.
Yeah.
And I just been bringing back my signature OG dishes that like I started in the Mexican restaurant. Yeah. And, it's pretty fascinating what you could do with food. And then like I get home and I eat like a 12-year-old. I eat Cheez-Its for dinner and I'm like,
all the GMOs.
I'm like, what is my deal? I'm such a hypocrite, I'm like, this is delicious as I'm like smacking on Cheez-Its. Like, oh God. But you're just so tired, you know? Sure. And then everyone else gets excited about food. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm like, food grosses me out right now. I'm just over it. I'm over food. So I'm on this like liquid thing. Like, give me a protein shake.
Really?
Just for fun right now. Like, I just love all the liquids and like, I don't know, mix it up a little bit. So since I don't drink, club soda with the lime is my thing right now.
Yeah.
And, I tried a Poppy the other day and congrats Poppy, getting that deal with Pepsi.
Hey, you can sponsor this show too, Poppy, if you want to. I've been on the non-alcoholic beers. Like if I find myself,
I haven't tried that yet.
So if I like really have a day and I'm like, this is where I would drink normally. The Athletic Brewing Company, non-alcoholic beer, but also lower calories than a lot of the other non-alcoholic options. But they taste a lot like beer. I mean, well, they are beer. They're beer without the booze in it.
Yeah.
And it has really scratched the itch to where like I don't need a drink, but it feels like I'm drinking something to like, oh, this is what I wanted, well, and then I have no negative side effects from it.
Well, that's the thing is alcohol in general is a social thing. Yeah. And I have to admit, when you stop drinking, you stop getting invited to stuff.
Yeah, I've noticed. Well, yeah.
And it's not as fun anymore. Like I used to be like, oh, let's go to this because I knew there was a beer at the end of it.
Yeah.
Or, oh, let's go hang out over here because I knew there was going to be drinks. Now I like walk in and I'm like, crap. Who's got a lime? Who's got something that looks like that, But I'm also seeing this trend where more people are going non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
And we saw that in the bar.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of people pull us aside and they're like, can you make my non-alcoholic? And we're like, yeah, dude, not a big deal at all. Don't worry about it. So I see this shift of a little bit more on the healthier side. People are not drinking as much. A lot of the wineries are kind of struggling a little bit. And then you're just seeing less and less socializing with
Yeah.
alcohol. Now people socialize through trips and lavish vacations
Yeah.
and doing things with their kids, which is, it's about time,
Yep.
you know? But I don't know. I just feel like we have to always be aware. When you work for yourself, you got to always like be aware of your surroundings and like what the crowd and the public want.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just a good listener. As much as I talk, I'm actually a really good listener and observer, but I don't have it all figured out. And that's why I don't want to take the next step, because someone's going to start demanding answers and I don't have it figured out. Like I get hit all the time on social media, like, hey, you should brand for this and you should do this. And I'm just like, oh God, then I have to like share my process. And squirrel, you know, like I'm not a good teacher. I'm not a good teacher. I would think I would be, but I'm not. I mean, I'm teaching Girl Scout troops right now how to build a charcuterie board and I'm like sweating. Yeah.
You're a doer. You're not.
Yeah, I just figure it out.
Yeah. And then you just do it.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna wait around on someone else to do this while I explain it. It's like I can get it done in a third the time that it would take me to explain someone else how to do it. You know.
But now, like my challenges are different. It's like when you have a corporate job, you're always challenging yourself to hit your number or to do this or exceed. And in the cheese shop world, like what challenges you? Well, okay, so that lady that walked in and was like, well, I hope you make it. And I'm like, well, I hope you make it too, Ethel.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I hope this isn't your last cheese board.
I haven't heard that one yet. But, you know, we're rooting for you.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, seriously? Like, I've already talked myself off a ledge today and you're
Yeah.
going to say that. So you just have to find that
They
inspiration.
probably think that's the sweetest thing that they could say.
Oh,
like,
they're kind.
yeah.
And oh,
oh,
sweetie.
I hope you make it.
I hope you do too.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, or I'll give you a try. Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Like, I do not walk into In-N-Out and be like, you know, I'm going to give you a try today. I hope you make it, you know? So I think it just means that I'm new.
Yeah.
I'm not established. And they're hearing a lot of buzz and they're trying to figure out what it is. And that's just the easy response.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Let people have that because we're all humans and we all just suck sometimes. We just suck sometimes.
And at the end of the day, we are in a service world or service position. And it's like we have customers, you have customers. As long as our customers are happy, that's what, you know, that's what makes the world turn, at least for our business. I do want to talk to you a little bit, though, about like when a customer is not happy. Yeah. We have only had one customer that has just, we've pulled hair out. You know, it's like nothing we could do would make this customer okay. Yeah. And it finally got to a point where it was like, you're going to write what you're going to write about us. You're going to say what you're going to say about us. Yeah. If you say anything that's a lie, we'll have a different conversation. But you're entitled to your opinion. Make it. But we're moving on. Like there's only so much we can do, and we've done it all. How do you handle those kind of things? You know, I'll go a step further. What I have done more recently is like, if we finish a job and someone says, can you do this? Is what they're asking me reasonable or is it unreasonable? If it's unreasonable, I have no problem saying no. If it's reasonable and if it really will help them get a better experience, it's an easy yes. Is it reasonable? Is it unreasonable?
Yeah. See, mine might be a little bit different because...
Please, and that's why I asked
Yeah, so I'm not saying we don't get negativity and we don't get criticism, because we do. Yeah. It's most of the time it's not on your boards that we give out or our boxes. It's on our offsite setups, because these people are planning an event and they're estimating 100 people are going to come. Then they pay us $1 gazillion, I guess, for our setup. And then we get there and then they're going, is that enough food? So it's already starting before we even leave. Yeah. That doubt, that insecurity, that's on them, not on us. And we know there's enough food. I mean, we've seen this all the time. Yeah. But I've only had a couple of times when people were literally not letting it go, that they did not think there was enough food or they did not think that it was substance enough. So I roll my eyes because I do a really good job of over communicating when I do bookings. Yeah. Like, this is what to expect. Yeah. This is what you're getting. This is not a plated meal. This is not a steakhouse dinner. This is more of a glorified appetizer, icebreaker. This is not a full meal. Like, we give you little plates. Everyone's going to be nibbling and grazing. That's why it's a grazing table. Or that's why there's bowls of salad. Like, it's not refillable. Mm-hmm. This isn't a buffet, even though it looks like a buffet. I'm not coming back. What you paid for is what you get. Mm-hmm. I spend hours doing my calculations, and it doesn't matter, because bottom line, when you know they screwed up, they will not let it go with you. So when I don't know if that works in your realm, but when they are the one that caused the problem, they will not let us go. So how do I solve it? Well, luckily I have contracts.
Yeah.
And luckily I reiterate, this was supposed to serve 50 to 75. You had 125 people show up. You get the opportunity 3 days before your event to add or minus or subtract, and you chose to just keep what you booked because of budget maybe. So the fact that you went and got more food is not on me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't tell if you have hungry appetites or if you have little birds. Like, I don't know. You're taking the best guess telling me, and that's why my packages have a range. So 2 times in my charcuterie history, I've had one little, I guess, blowout, with a client where she humiliated me in front of everybody. And I was like, listen, you chose to go to Costco and get trays and platters of stuff because you didn't think I calculated enough.
Yeah.
And I just showed up to break down this table, and everything that's not eaten is the Costco food.
Yeah.
So I think you're just mad at yourself. And so she's like, you will refund me, blah, 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 blah. And I said, you know what? In good faith, let's just split your Costco tab, because there was a point of, nervousness. And I'm sorry I made you feel that way. So let's just split it. Let's just split it. And I'm so sorry it had to go this way. So that one actually ended okay. And then we just have other ones where they're just like, you didn't give me the ingredients for this, or this was an allergy and this person couldn't eat. Well, I go through all these steps in the beginning, state your allergies, let me know if we need to look at cross-contamination. So I always feel it's always they screwed up.
Yep.
And now it's on me. And it's just hard because in this industry, knowledge of your product is important, but them talking is a cancer. So I just have to shut them up. Okay, you know what? Next board is on me.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so hard because food's weird. Have you gone to a restaurant lately and seen that you're spending $20 and your portion's like nothing? You're like, what the heck did I just pay for?
Yeah, for sure.
And so we actually overly give food, and there's always a lot left, and we get second guessed all the time. And I just learned, you know what? It's all pressure on them. And this happened with us with the bar with weddings. They never thought there was enough booze, and we're like, stop bringing vodka out. We have plenty. Oh, we're going to run out. We're going to run out. Okay, and that's going to be the end of the world because people aren't going to go home drunk?
Then we're done. Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, you don't want to have all this excess. And I tell people, too, with their food and their grazing tables, it looks worse that you have all this left over.
Yeah.
And now you look like a waster. So now your group, your party that comes is like, wow, who ordered this? Like, we just wasted all this food. And now it just looks like a buffet. So trust me, trust the process. If you're not happy and you're not satisfied, let's talk offline. Let's not make it a big scene. Let's not, Yelp me bad. Let's just have a conversation. So out of the, thousands of boards that I have done, I haven't had a board complaint, knock on wood.
Great.
But
literally.
It's just, I know, but it's literally the offsite catering.
Because your boards are made of wood.
Yeah,
All right.
but I mean, actually they're palm leaf, bamboo, tea leaf, and a charity leaf.
Is bamboo not a wood? Need some educating here.
Wait, what?
Is bamboo a wood?
Well, it is,
Gotta
but it's
be,
like
right?
palm leaves. So the palm leaf is the palm. The green part is not wood.
No, okay. But
now I'm going to have to Google this.
That guy's local as well.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, but it's true, though. Like, I don't know if you ever give money back to people or if you, because it's hard to give them a future business.
I've done some, like we made we did a tear off, and there was a section of the roof that had skylights on it, had 2 skylights. We made a mess in the kitchen while we were removing the old skylights to put the new ones in. And I was like, and they had like maybe 4 sheets worth of dry rot that needed to be replaced. Oh. And I said, well, how about this? Instead of charging you for the dry rot, I'm just going to do the dry rot at no charge.
Nice. Yeah.
Just to help with the mess, And like she cleaned it up in 30 minutes. She said it wasn't a huge deal. It was more of an inconvenience for her. But to me, that was like, here's some levity. Here's some common ground of, I caused you an inconvenience. I would normally charge you for this. And she wrote us a great review, and all was happy.
Yeah.
But there's just certain times where you have to, what's the easiest way to move past this and just keep going forward?
Well, it's weird because people also think that as a small business, they should give you their opinions after because it will empower and help you. And all it really does is just beat us down more because we're already in our heads. We're already second guessing ourselves. I'm doing calculations in the middle of the night. I'm not perfect. I don't know. And then to have someone walk in after their event in front of everybody and be like, yeah, there just wasn't enough. Well, okay, what did you sell this to other people as? Like, you just don't know the other circumstances that go with it. And I just feel like I'm always on that combat return because of my sales job back in AT&T. I always had to deal with disaster recovery, winning the client back, getting them to get your trust back. So what I try to do is just be as ethical and honest in the beginning, straightforward, you know, here it is, create that connection and just cross my fingers, you know. But where I struggle with more is I don't want anybody getting sick. So I take it into consideration. Like, I prep my food in a very secure environment. You know, it's gloves, it's hair nets, it's constant sanitization. There's no cross-contamination. We're changing gloves like crazy. But once I deliver that food to you, I don't know what you're doing with it. And it stresses me out. And it does. Every setup I do off-site, I get in my car and I go, oh my God, just please, like, please put that umbrella back up. Like, please don't take it down for ambiance where it looks good. Like, just leave the goddamn umbrella there. My salami is turning gray. And like, even today when I sat down, I was like, yeah, turn on that air. I got salami on the floor. I just get weird because I feel like society is weird.
I played in a golf tournament one time. It was the, what was it called? Golf and Guitars at Hagen Oaks, where like the country artists come. Fun. They do a concert after the tournament, but actually the stars play in the tournament with you. And the company I was working for at the time sponsored a group, so we got to play with a country artist. And every hole had something. So it was, you know, drink stations, different sponsors having like, you know, the little beanbag toss thing set up and everything. So we get to this one station. It's the car giveaway hole. If you make a hole in one, you win a car.
That's cool.
And they've got this awesome like seafood platter on display on ice.
Oh, it's on ice.
But no, then you get to the bowl of shrimp and the ice had all melted. And my buddy looks at that and goes, I don't know about you, I'm not messing with any room temp shrimp. And we lost it. So to this day, when I hear room temp shrimp is my lasting image of just food quality outside at an event of like, yeah, he's right. I'm glad we didn't mess with that room temp shrimp.
You just hope people bring out the thinking stick when they come to these freaking things.
A seafood platter on an August day in Sacramento.
It freaks me out.
What's the worst that could happen? You know?
Diarrhea.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
That's great. That is absolutely going to be our little reel that we do for the podcast. What's the worst thing that happen? Diarrhea.
Oh, amoebic dysentery.
Yeah. To be more specific. Yeah.
No, I'm serious though. Like, I stress out and like, it's just food's so weird and we all know we've had bad food or we all know where it's just not a good idea. And then you're just like, just don't come back to me. So my biggest fear is not, Michelle, do you make it, but someone getting sick. And so I just take it so seriously. And it means a lot to me, but I just go to these events sometimes and I'm like, people value aesthetics over safety and it pisses me off.
Yeah.
And I have to leave and trust that there's not going to be an idiot eating a gray piece of salami or a freaking cold room temperature shrimp or whatever it's called. I'm just like, oh, Lord. So bigger problems. You know, before I used to think like, I'm not going to hit my sales quota. And now I have so much business. I'm turning away opportunities.
Yeah.
I said no to a $10,000 booking. Said no. $10,000.
Yeah.
That's either a good problem for me to have or I saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
And you know, we got live on DoorDash, so maybe DoorDash can sponsor you because I am
awesome.
always plugging you.
Yeah.
DoorDash picked us up, and we're this tiny
cool.
little shop, and we've done $1,200 in DoorDash orders in 3 weeks. And so people are ordering DoorDash, they're getting cheese. I figured it out. Like, what other cheese company's like, yeah, let's just do DoorDash. Like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And I fought for that. And I got it.
Because you're not open for dinner, right? Like, you close the shop. At what time do you close?
We
4
close
or 5?
at 5.
5.
But this way people can get boxes and they can pre-order them. Like today I walked into the shop and I was prepping and the DoorDash thing's going off. This lady ordered a board for Friday. Like
that's
people,
incredible.
And they're ordering big platters.
Yeah.
And it just makes it fun because if you can't come to us, let DoorDash pick it up. Now this world of convenience and AKA laziness, I guess, of a society that we get our food delivered. How amazing. Like,
DoorDash is pretty sweet. That's date night for Lauren and I, actually. We'll put the kids to, I mean, we can't go out. Like,
you can't.
We already struggle through like a week of childcare between the nanny and school and everything else. It's like, we're not paying some babysitter to come and us go out to eat. So it's like, we put the kids down, and it's like our treat night is we're going to do
Yes.
DoorDash and watch a movie or something.
And that's how, like, when I don't have Cheez-Its for dinner, I spoil myself
Yes.
with something because, the last thing I want to do is go and cook this big old dinner after I've been slaving away all day in the kitchen. But it's a treat finally. And it reminds me of being a kid when we all went out to pizza on Friday nights. And it's like DoorDash to me is that feeling. Like, so thank you, DoorDash. And thank you for the clients and the people that keep ordering from us, because it actually gives me a little bit of happiness knowing that this is such a widespread thing.
Yeah.
And we're a part of it. Like this little tiny shop is a part of it. And then hopefully in the spring, summerish, I could put my salads and I could put my sandwiches. So we talked earlier about like what inspires you or like keeps you going. Well, I'm all focused now on my new packaging because, so now it's like,
which is incredibly sturdy. Let me tell you.
No. That's old school packaging.
Okay, yeah.
That is, I was an idiot and didn't get the big enough bag to tie it. And then instead of just, getting a bag and not being cheap and wasting it, Michelle decided to put another small bag on it. So
you did that. You did that to me on purpose. That's all right.
Oh my God.
Well, hey, before we go,
Yeah.
where can people find you?
Okay.
All socials, obviously your storefront. Like, how can people buy Rustic Mule cheeses and food?
Okay, so we do have a storefront in Lincoln, California. So we're kind of in like the Quick Quack shopping center across from Rayleigh's.
Kind of across from Rayleigh's, yeah.
Really convenient off the freeway. Our biggest clientele is like Sun City and, all the neighboring businesses right now. If not, Instagram is at Rustic Mule. I do have Facebook, but it's kind of like a sloppy second, and I don't really go on it half the time.
The exact same way.
I think it just like auto-populates.
Yeah.
I tried the TikTok thing, but to be honest with you, I don't need that attention or another full-time job.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, I just want to get to my community. So we do a lot of community outreach. I think I've already done over $5,000 in gift certificates as complimentary to our community since we've opened.
Yeah.
And that's just always giving back.
You're one of our upcoming giveaways for our monthly. Yes.
Yeah.
So.
And it's so cool because at the end of the day, people can find us there. And then, I'm always a text away. So I keep my phone as the main line. I don't want to do an answering service. I don't want to have a main line in my shop. I want to always be able to answer people real time. And then, of course, just word of mouth and amazing friends and clients. And I mean, truthfully, at the end of the day, like I have to pinch myself and say you created something amazing.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm not there yet. And maybe I'll celebrate one day. But like my birthday was last Saturday.
I know. Happy belated.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm the dork that buys myself cookies and gets apple cider and just spoils everybody that walks in the door because I just feel like people should always try to come together with food and events and think of us. And that's kind of my motive. So stay tuned. I don't know when this is going to air, but I'm going to pull off a really good April Fool's joke, a little prank tomorrow. So stay tuned for that.
Well, Michelle, thank you so much. I'm
You're
so grateful
welcome.
you were here. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, no, so fun.
And for all of you at home, again, thank you for listening to the Willfull Thinking Podcast. Like, subscribe, and we will see you next time.
Peace.